Right now, the skyline of Kuwait City is glowing with the flames of a direct, devastating hit. An Iranian suicide drone has just slammed straight into a major Kuwaiti government building, turning the night sky bright orange and sending massive shockwaves across the entire globe. But the nightmare does not stop at the borders of Kuwait. Tonight, the United Arab Emirates is facing an absolute firestorm, taking the hardest hits in a massive new wave of attacks launched by Iran. To get the raw truth and the fastest updates on this global crisis as the story proceeds, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on those notifications so a breaking news alert is never missed. Because this situation is moving faster than anyone predicted, and the facts need to be delivered straight to the feed. Listen closely to what is unfolding on the ground at this very moment. In the early hours of the morning, terror fell from the sky over Kuwait. A high-speed Iranian drone bypassed early warning systems and crashed violently into the upper floors of the Public Institution for Social Security building in Kuwait City. This is not a hidden military outpost. This is a normal, everyday government building right in the heart of a bustling city. Footage pouring out shows massive flames tearing through the complex, with dangerous debris raining down on the streets below. The Kuwaiti military confirmed the strike, stating that explosive drone fragments caused serious damage to civilian areas. Emergency rescue crews are rushing to the scene, and the entire nation has been warned to stay on the highest possible alert. The big question is why this is happening. This brutal strike is a direct spillover from the intense, ongoing clashes between the United States, Israel, and Iran. As the pressure builds on Tehran, a massive swarm of explosive drones has been unleashed, aimed directly at neighboring Gulf countries. And while the fires burn in Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates is facing an even bigger disaster. The UAE is being hit the absolute hardest by these strikes. Hundreds of deadly drones are swarming the airspace over some of the most famous cities in the world. The skies over Dubai and Abu Dhabi are lighting up with the terrifying explosions of air defense missiles trying desperately to shoot down incoming threats. These are highly explosive drones, designed to fly low, avoid radar, and slam into their targets with crushing force. Now, they are zeroing in on the glittering towers and vital lifelines of the UAE, forcing normal life to a complete and sudden stop. The situation on the ground in the United Arab Emirates is completely chaotic right now. Commercial flights into some of the busiest airports on Earth have been totally suspended. Imagine looking up at the sky above Dubai, normally filled with passenger jets, and seeing nothing but military interceptor missiles carving through the clouds to hunt down incoming threats. Reports of flooding in vital oil refineries and massive energy storage tanks near the coast are the primary targets of these Iranian drones. We are talking about the critical infrastructure that powers the global economy. When facilities like these are threatened, panic spreads across world financial markets instantly. These are not simple devices. The drones used in this assault are highly advanced, packed with heavy explosives, and programmed to fly in swarms. They use a deadly tactic designed specifically to overwhelm world-class air defense systems. By sending dozens of drones at the exact same time from multiple directions, the attackers know a few are bound to slip through the cracks. And right now, in the UAE, they are slipping through. The sheer volume of this attack is unlike anything the region has witnessed. It is a deeply calculated move to create maximum destruction and paralyzing fear. The people living in these targeted cities are experiencing absolute terror. Warning sirens are wailing non-stop through quiet neighborhoods. Shelters are filling up fast, and normally packed city streets are completely empty, aside from the flash of emergency lights and the heavy sound of military vehicles rushing into defensive positions. This is the horrifying reality of a war that has suddenly expanded far beyond its original borders, aggressively dragging in nations that were trying to stay out of the crossfire. Every single update coming across the wire points to a massive, uncontrollable escalation. Military leaders in Washington and allied nations are undoubtedly scrambling in emergency meetings at this very second. The United States has massive military bases located right inside both the UAE and Kuwait, meaning American troops are stationed directly in the path of these Iranian drones. The ultimate red line has not just been crossed, it has been obliterated. This is a rapidly developing global crisis that affects everyone, so make sure to hit that subscribe button right now to get the undeniable truth and the fastest updates as this dangerous story unfolds. The shockwaves of these devastating drone strikes are tearing through the global economy at lightning speed. Within minutes of the first explosions hitting Kuwait and the United Arab Emirates, world oil prices violently spiked. Financial markets are in absolute panic mode. These massive attacks are striking at the very heart of global energy production. Ships carrying vital supplies are now trapped in the Persian Gulf. Terrified to move through the dangerous waters, if these drone swarms successfully destroy more refineries or block shipping lanes, the cost of everyday life for people everywhere will explode overnight. The pain of this Middle Eastern firestorm is about to be felt across the entire globe. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and keep those notifications turned on, because this channel is tracking exactly how this sudden conflict will impact daily life and global security. You need to know what happens next. The leaders in Tehran are sending a vicious, undeniable message by setting the skies of Kuwait and the UAE on fire. Iran is showing that if they are cornered, they will bring the entire region down with them. They are punishing these Gulf nations for maintaining strong ties with the West and hosting American military forces. This is a brutal warning to the United States and allied forces. Any further pressure will result in total regional chaos. The drones slamming into government buildings and energy tanks are not random accidents. They are perfectly aimed weapons of terror, designed to break the spirit of neighboring countries and force them into a submission. Right now, allied military forces are scrambling to stop the bleeding. Air Force bases across the Middle East are sounding the alarm. Fighter jets are launching into the dark skies, burning maximum fuel to hunt down these robotic killers before they reach their targets. Ground commanders are desperately firing Patriot missile batteries, filling the air with defensive fire. But shooting down a massive swarm of cheap, deadly drones is incredibly difficult. It is a terrifying numbers game, and right now, the attackers are pushing the defenses to the absolute breaking point. The next few hours are critical. The entire world is holding its breath as the sun rises over the smoking ruins in Kuwait City and the United Arab Emirates. The images flooding in are completely shocking. High-rise buildings, normally symbols of extreme wealth and absolute peace, are now scorched black and surrounded by shattered glass. The governments of Kuwait and the UAE have just issued their most urgent and angry statements in modern history. They are demanding immediate international action. They are calling this an unprovoked act of extreme war that cannot go unpunished. The drumbeat of a much wider conflict is echoing louder than ever before. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and know exactly what is happening before the rest of the world catches up, you must hit that subscribe button right now. Do not miss a single update as this historic global crisis unfolds minute by minute. Behind closed doors in Washington, London, and Paris, emergency security councils are meeting in absolute secrecy. The United States military is officially on its highest defensive posture in the region. Aircraft carrier strike groups are moving into position, and long-range bombers are being prepped for immediate flight. The question is no longer if there will be a response, but how massive that response will be. The pressure on global leaders to strike back at the launch sites in Iran is growing by the second, but everyone knows the terrifying risk. One wrong move, one missile fired in retaliation, could instantly ignite a massive regional war that drags in the biggest superpowers on Earth. The drone swarm tactic used tonight proves that the nature of war has completely changed. Expensive fighter jets and massive armies are suddenly struggling to defend against cheap, explosive robots programmed to destroy. These flying bombs are rewriting the rules of combat. The attackers sit safely hundreds of miles away, tapping coordinates into a computer. While innocent people in Kuwait and the UAE run for their lives in the dead of night, the fear is contagious, and neighboring countries like Saudi Arabia and Bahrain are locking down their borders and heavily arming their own defenses, praying they are not the next target on the list. The entire Middle East is sitting on a massive powder keg, and the fuse has officially been lit. Imagine sitting in a high-rise luxury apartment looking out over the glittering city when a flying bomb packed with heavy explosives smashes straight through the glass. That is exactly the nightmare unfolding right now across the Gulf. The weapons raining down on the United Arab Emirates and Kuwait are cheap, loud, and built for one single purpose: to crash and completely destroy. These are deadly suicide drones, and they are taking down advanced defenses and paralyzing the richest cities on the planet. As the chaos deepens and the damage spreads, the facts need to be heard. Hit that subscribe button immediately and turn on notifications so a single crucial update is never missed as this rapidly expanding global crisis proceeds. The sheer numbers of this attack are completely mind-blowing. Military radar screens are lighting up with hundreds upon hundreds of these robotic killers at the exact same time. In the UAE alone, defense systems have been forced to track and shoot down massive waves of incoming threats. Interceptor missiles are firing into the dark night sky, destroying most of the drones before they can strike. But when a swarm is this enormous, a few deadly machines always slip through the cracks, and the ones that make it through are causing absolute havoc. Flaming pieces of blown-up drones are raining down on the city streets, starting massive fires in normal neighborhoods and striking pure fear into the hearts of millions of people hiding in shelters. These are not the smart, expensive missiles used in old wars. These drones fly incredibly close to the ground. They sneak under the heavy military radar until it is entirely too late to issue a warning. They are programmed to follow a complex path, buzzing loudly like lawnmowers, until they finally dive bomb into their targets. From the massive oil refineries providing gas to the world to the soaring glass towers in Dubai. Nowhere feels safe right now. By unleashing this cheap army of flying bombs, the attackers in Iran are bleeding the advanced defense systems dry. They are forcing the entire world to watch in absolute shock. The Middle East is being pushed right to the edge of the cliff, and the fall could drag the entire global economy down with it. The smoke is not even cleared, and already the massive gears of a global war machine are locking right into place. What started as a horrifying night of fire over the skies of Kuwait and the United Arab Emirates has just transformed into the most dangerous military standoff of the century. To stay completely informed on every rapidly moving piece of this dangerous puzzle, hit that subscribe button right now. Keep those notifications on, because the facts are coming fast and the absolute truth is needed as this massive story proceeds. The communication lines between global superpowers are completely melting down at this very second. Leaders in the Middle East are publicly demanding extreme and immediate consequences for this massive drone swarm assault. The bustling streets of the UAE, usually filled with luxury cars and eager tourists, are now totally locked down under heavy military control. Giant commercial ports are completely frozen. The massive container ships that supply the entire world with goods are dropping their anchors, absolutely terrified to enter the active kill zone of the Persian Gulf. This is not just an isolated attack on a single government building in Kuwait or oil tanks in Abu Dhabi. This is a direct, violent attack on the vital economic lifelines that keep the entire modern world running. And the standoff playing out right now is terrifying. By launching these cheap, explosive drones directly at heavily protected nations, the attackers have called the ultimate global bluff. Military commanders are now facing an impossible, nightmarish choice. If Allied forces strike back hard against the launch sites inside Iran. They risk unleashing a relentless wave of destruction that could wipe out entire cities across the region in an all-out, unstoppable war. But if they do nothing, they give the ultimate green light for thousands more of these terrifying flying bombs to rain down tomorrow night. Right now, advanced radar jets are circling high above the cloud line, scanning every single inch of the desert for the next launch. Anti-aircraft batteries are being reloaded at blinding speed by exhausted soldiers. Millions of innocent civilians are sitting in the dark, terrified, listening closely for the wail of the warning sirens. The entire region is holding its breath, staring up at the sky, waiting to see exactly who makes the next deadly move. Listen to the sirens echoing across the Persian Gulf, because they are playing the terrifying soundtrack of a world on the absolute brink. What began as a distant conflict has just crashed right through the front doors of Kuwait and the United Arab Emirates. The images of a towering Kuwaiti government building consumed by massive orange flames and the dark skies over Dubai filled with defensive missiles are not from a movie. This is the new, dangerous reality. Iranian suicide drones, cheap but incredibly deadly, have proven they can slip past the most advanced, multi-billion-dollar defense shields on the planet, and the human cost is already mounting. Reports are confirming that innocent lives, including a young child sleeping in Kuwait, have been tragically lost in this relentless rain of fire. To make sure the real truth is always known, hit that subscribe button right now. Keep notifications turned on permanently, because when the next wave launches, this channel will be the absolute first to break the facts as this dangerous story proceeds. The leaders in Tehran are playing a highly dangerous game of chess, using massive swarms of flying bombs to send a clear, undeniable message to the United States and its allies by hitting the UAE the hardest. Raining down hundreds of explosive drones and missiles, they are targeting the absolute center of global wealth and energy. They know that if they choke off the oil supply and freeze the giant shipping ports, the pain will instantly be felt in every single grocery store and gas station around the entire globe. The world economy is completely tied to the safety of these exact Gulf nations. Right now, the ultimate decision sits in the hands of allied military commanders. The public pressure to launch a massive, devastating counterstrike against the drone launch sites inside Iran is enormous and growing by the minute. But every single leader knows that pulling that trigger could instantly turn this regional firestorm into a global catastrophe. Neighbors are turning on neighbors, borders are slamming shut, and millions of people are sleeping in underground bunkers tonight, praying the next explosion does not hit their city. The terrifying age of drone warfare has officially arrived, rewriting all the rules of combat. The next 48 hours will decide the fate of the Middle East and the economic safety of the entire world. The fuse is burning short. Stay absolutely vigilant, stay informed, and do not miss a single development. Hit subscribe and be ready for the next urgent update.